Well, I mean, it's a good showcase of Triple DBS and what they do. They get a kill, and they get all of them, all the other ones that are lined up. We got one more set here in the PS4 side of Europe, and so we're going to get into the maps very, very shortly to kind of progress into the next phase. Here, these ones, though, Cyclone and YCTG, do not matter. Obviously, these regions, and I guess do not matter. I'll take that back. I'll rephrase. They don't matter as far as LAN qualifications.
Yes.
Flashpoint already qualified for LAN. You will see them at Worlds. So it was nice for them to capstone this season. Flawless victory, flawless season. But YCTG and Cyclone now fighting for respect in the region, respect amongst themselves, fighting for a good show, performance. And I'm excited to see what they pull out.
I mean, Cyclone, again, has always been this team that's a number 2. It always, and it's rough to be that team because it's just like you're always sitting there, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, right? Like Flashpoint always gets to go to LAN, and you're always number 1 right behind them. Like you're always great. And the question is whether or not YCTG can kind of step up to their standard, bring them down, and then make the bottom 3, even in EU PS4, look a lot closer, and then anyone can take on Flashpoint.
First time I think we've seen Khan available today. He's been banned all day, and so nice to see as well. Still a lot of value from the Talus. Kulturskred last game for Brutal Fisher couldn't make much happen with it, but had some good moments. Made it very hard, I think, for Flashpoint at least to adjust properly every single time. The Drogo's been fantastic. Leon here as well, been a big play. And again, that's a 1-to-1 trade because Prosper and them win with Leon, but Kulturskred and the rest of the guys actually lose with it. So unfortunate.
Sky. Locked in, coming through. I actually don't mind it against Fernando and Makoa again, and this is something
so here's the guess.
that comes up. When you Ancient Rage, and then those poison bolts hit you, 30% when you are an Ancient Rage is way more than 30% otherwise.
And I was going to ask you, do you think it's going to be the Debilitate, or do you think we're going to see some Smoke and Dagger funsies?
Well, I kind of hope it's Debilitate, but at the same time, on this map, I think Smoke and Dagger funsies could be fun.
That could be very fun. There's a nice little reset build we've kind of been seeing come up a little bit more lately. It's been around for a while, but will YCTG win here? They got a really nice composition. I mean, I wouldn't bet against it, but the Cyclone draft with this guy and Furia is going to make me really, really curious to see how it performs, considering we haven't seen Furia today, and we haven't seen Khan today.
Both on one side? It's like this weird counterbalance where it's just like you can get Furia Khan, but you have to pick Sky. Like, you can get the top of the top,
but you gotta.
But at least it's a little bit better than Alex,
right? And it is. It looks like it's Debilitate for Don Canolo. Let's see what he's running loadout wise as well. Pretty standard stuff across the board for everybody else.
Decrypify and Poisoner.
I like Victory Rush, one of your top tier, ladies and gentlemen, movement speed cards. The value is insane because 2 reasons. 8 seconds means that it lasts longer than any other buff of movement speed in the game. And it used to be 12. Got nerfed, but it used to be 12 like not too long ago. And elimination. If she tags anyone and they die, doesn't have to kill them. If she tags anyone and they die, then she gets this buff. 30%. It's essentially 30% all the time if you think about fighting in Paladins. So really good opportunity here for her to stay mobile without putting a lot of cards into her mobility. Emergency exit going to tick away there. And a beautiful Solar Blessing right on cue.
Exactly when you need it. Every single member of YCTG is right here, which it doesn't really matter how the fight is going. Honestly, a lot of points, I would say, in their favor. But the one point that matters is that 90% in favor of Cyclone. First Blood finally comes out a minute and a half in, and it's going to be Tito putting his name on that, and it looks like YCTG are just about to fall like dominoes.
I think this is going to be where we see Sky played. I think this is the style of Sky play where no one goes, and it's not just like flanky Sky. It's like, I'm just going to shoot you. Mid-range Sky. That is what's going to be valuable. And you know what? I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna work, but I think it can work. I think if a team gets real excited, if they practice enough, I think it can absolutely work. And right now, we're seeing some really cool stuff from Cyclone.
And it's on a map that benefits it too, right? There's
yes,
a lot of line of sight.
Yeah,
a lot of line of sight breaks, a lot of areas where you can actually use your stealth to get a better advantage or to get out of a fight that might be a little bit more difficult for you. And so I think this one and Bright Marsh are the 2 areas where we're probably going to see it a little bit more often. Unfortunately, right now, it doesn't seem to be finding too much. But again, like you said, mid-range, you're finding it in very specific areas. And I'm looking more at where Cyclone have been on their objective control. I mean, they get that entire point like it's nothing. And now this payload's moved pretty far in just a minute.
You know what I want to see as well, Gore? I want to see some Poison Bolt Sky with some Torvald action. I want to see how much those Poison Bolts do when a Torvald bubble is on them.
Too much.
Because I know it's health-based, but I wonder how the scaling works on that. Like just
that's a good question.
You know, 30% more health. Like what do you scale? Because it's damage off of your maximum health. So that's what I find kind of I'm curious. Because it's Torvald Bubble, the only damage amp ability that actually allows your abilities to do more damage and not just your weapon basic attacks. Gotta try that out.
We have some shielding coming through, but nothing as potent as Mr. Torvald himself. That would be a very deadly combo. I am anticipating that would be deadly, and on maps like this, you can't let that through. Immortal, though, is going to come through, and the time bomb's perfect!
Hello! Goodbye. In your arms, Don Canolo. Make sure he scoops up Makoa and Fernando at the perfect time. It's Tito going to help walk this thing through. Jaguar falls. This is the land of Sky.
Except for right there. Erase that part. It was after the round ended, doesn't count. We can go back to the
Every time I have a finishing line, you have to ruin it.
8-1-0 right now. Tito
I'm sick of this.
Has been picking up as much as he possibly can. There's a point, I don't know if it counted as a triple kill, but I'm pretty sure all 4 kills at the very beginning of the game were his. Like, he picked up every single one of them. And that was just YCTG in the perfect spot with the perfect health bars to get taken down one by one by one by one. Now coming into this round, I'm wondering how they're going to change it up. I mean, there's a lot that can go right. I feel like 5-man grouping, they were very focused on trying to get rid of the Sky. No one was paying attention to the objective. Send someone over there.
Vcon Juan. I feel like I've never said that name in my entire life. And I certainly haven't. Dragon Punch here for Centurio's not going to hit. And he actually finds the Sky. Wow.
He Dragon Punched for that.
He absolutely did. It's a backline dive here. Centurio's still alive, though. That's what's, I think, most impressive to me. He's going to get some own self-healing. How long does he wait before he shoots? He's going to heal full up, and I love this. Taking advantage of that health pool that you got. You're a big boy. You're a frontliner. You got 4750 in the tank for a reason, and now Sky. Oh, yeah, she's going into the backline. Dacanolo helps to finish off Clax, but where is he now?
I mean, at this point, gone, away, erased.
Nasty Pro,
I think Centurio's camera unintentionally gave me one of the best Sky moments I've ever seen. That is that you see Sky running up, he's looking at a Makoa that's full health, he looks down for a second, he looks back up, Makoa's sitting at 30% HP. Like, it was the best Sky moment that I think you could have had, especially from the perspective of not Sky, but exactly what you'd expect. I mean, look at Owned by Atomics. Like, there's just nothing he can do. He gets that tail end kill. He has one hit. A sneeze in the wrong direction kills him off there.
That's because Don Canolo just suddenly started sucking. And I have had those moments where I'm doing so well, and I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be the best video of all time. And then I just miss, like, every shot for the next minute. And I'm like, why did I go on this rampage of just being horrible? And then I'm like, all right, I'm aware that I'm being horrible. Now let's get back on track. Don Canolo just misses 3 chances to burst him down. Finally hits the 3rd, but at that point, he's given too much life to the Fernando, who just maths him by more health and just enough damage per second to beat him down. Nice wall as well. Iron Madam says, you may not leave.
Hands down the best in our skin.
Hands down.
Also, when you're comparing it, there's only another one that can try to fight for it, but that one has definitely come in and taken the cake.
I'm a top 3 in the world. Paladins caster employed by Skillshot. I'm top 3.
What's weird about that? I am top 3 as well.
You are, dude. We're like at the top of our game. I have to word it
as top 3 because I am number 3. You can throw out the top 2 if you really need to.
Gore, don't be crazy. And I think you get a lot of votes here. Let's throw up a mixer vote here.
Mixer vote.
Is Gore top 3? Gore's top 1. I don't even want to know. It would hurt my feelings here. You are loved, Gore. And appreciated, just like Don Canolo and his damage. Look up, look down. All of a sudden, boy, oh boy, everyone else is dead. 3-0. Looking like a potential 4-0 here. Time bomb. Hey, how's the whirlwind for that? Not good at all. Doc Canola with a double kill. Sky is back. There it is. Poison bolts. Oh, 10,000 HP. That's what just died in an instant.
So Makoa has 5,000 up to like 5,600, right? At the top. So you're hitting maybe 1,500. 10,000 HP, 3,000 gone immediately. And that's just base on her debilitate. Then you start adding in everything else that was going on there. It's Makoa standing between 5 people. You can imagine where 10K goes.
Sounds good. Ancient Rage doesn't feel so pretty dang good. It's 75% of the people think Gore is a top 3 caster.
The other 25 think I'm top 2. Let's go, baby.
Okay, that's what it is.
I'm taking the positive spin.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I love it. I love that. That's hilarious.
And that is the key to living a happy life.
You got to take the positive spin. Great rule. I'm reading this book, 12 Rules for Life, an antidote to chaos. And one of the rules is compare yourself, try to be a better you than you were yesterday, and not a better than someone who, I'm getting this wrong. Okay.
I shouldn't try to be you.
Got it.
I should try to be a better me.
I got it. Try to be better than you were yesterday than trying to be better than someone else is today. Right?
Yeah. I can do that.
So essentially, because we live in this culture where you look at Twitter and you see like 800 people succeeding who are the best in the thing they're succeeding at in the world in front of your face, and it makes you compare immediately and say, well, I suck at that. Therefore, you can instantly do like a gratification of like, well, maybe I'm not good at all. But, as long as you're improving, that's what's up. Take that positive spin. Yeah. It's about you. And Gore, you know what? Let's be real. You've had a great year. You have improved so much as a Paladins caster, man. You weren't even casting Paladins. I mean, barely towards a full year ago.
A year ago,
a full year ago. Yeah, you started.
I had
Crazy,
a single
man.
game at a LAN.
Now we couldn't do without you. Couldn't do without you.
Shout outs to Hand of the Gods.
Shout outs to Hand of the Gods. Bring in young Gore Miser, dude. That had a real big purpose, and that's it.
Those were the weird days. I mean, when you try casting Paladins for 2 days, right? Right after you just finished 2 days of Hand of the Gods, 1 day of Smite.
You did the gauntlet, man.
Whew.
You did. And you know what? You killed it, though, and it got you here. And sometimes you got to do the gauntlet to get to where you want to be.
10 abilities every week. It was awesome.
Man. You and Gabby would do those casts for about 8 hours.
We had one day we legitimately were in that room for 12 hours. It was a 10-hour broadcast, and we were there, I think, 2 hours before for something. I can't remember. We had to prepare something for it, and it was a day.
Well, we got ourselves a day here. Cyclone looking good, and YCTG say they want their hands at the sky. And you know what? This pick is getting a little bit more funky. Now with the triple DPS style, almost the quadra DPS if you count Genos getting involved in the action. But he's going to run the Luminary. He's going to give Inara a little bit of love, but not as much as she would like as the Stigala. She's pretty tanky by herself. Cyclone looking to tie it up. Cyclone, I think, looking to clean it up. YCTG looking to tie things. Send it to a best of 3.
This is one of those maps that I'm not sure how I feel about that Sky. I think it's a good map for her, but I'm wondering if the matchup is actually going to be beneficial here for YCTG, if it's going to have the same performance we just saw, or if this is just not going to clean up the way that we saw last game.
I mean, all good questions. I'm not exactly sure because you have the Luminary, which you didn't have last time, which will be interesting to see. That's going to apply to her basic attacks, not her poison bolts. And he is running, I believe, the Debilitate again. And so he's going to be running Poisoner. And Nimblefinger's a little bit of a different style. Again, he will be using more of his basic attacks, so makes sense. That's going to give her a ton of reload speed. Doesn't quite have it yet, though, unfortunately. Debilitate, not quite up. And there's the Luminary mark, so now he should be a little bit more lethal, but this is a little bit of a harder point fight. And again, playing this mid-range, not trying to get aggressive into the back line, just hold up. And Androxus doesn't know where he's at. Maybe a little bit of an aggressive style. And the smoke screen, what it's doing is providing actually a really good kind of zone mid-fight because that's actually bleeding into the point. And now, because the gas pedal's been hit, he's able to move in. This Sky has been absolutely dominant today for both teams.
And the perfect amount of presence, right? It's just enough that you have to be wary of her if you're Cyclone.
Yeah.
But not enough that everyone's looking for you. So you can kind of hide in that side and get a lot of extra poke down, a lot of extra damage down that ordinarily you wouldn't. And there were a lot of moments where it's just, one stray bullet happens to fly your direction. Androxus turns left and is just a step closer to you.
Yeah.
He sees you, he can shoot you, he can kill you. A lot of things kind of lining up for YCTG right now. The point capture seems to be one of them as well.
Really good slides here. Don Canolo and the rest of the squad, though. I think if they get Centurio, things could be over. That's going to kill you, buddy. Okay, you had to slide. I was like, why are you not moving?
Slide to the left.
He finally slid, but Ernest Degen finds that it doesn't really matter because he's already gotten the kill. This Luminary Sky getting the best of both worlds on the damage. And that's going to be a YCTG victory here in round number 1 here in game 2. He really wants that Androxus. Not going to get it, though. Just smoke screens and gets out for the time being.
I understand that kind of feeling. Unfortunately, you stay a little bit too long. That was what we would call overstaying your welcome. You are there in enemy territory. Everyone else on your team falls back, but you just sit there, try to, I guess, wonder where you're going. Maybe you thought the payload would catch up a little faster, but it doesn't matter. You're top damage in the game, and honestly, I don't see that changing in the foreseeable future. A lot that is going right here for this Sky.
A lot going right for the Sky. Enlightenment here from Don Canolo. He's going to find Beacon 1. Knocks Mave. It's T2. Going to help clean that one up as well. YCTG not really able to get this push off, although they did win the objective fight. And you would expect that from a team that's down in the set. Maybe that reason they're down is because the other team won that first game off of merit. And so if a point does get given, it either shows that maybe this matchup on this map isn't really favoring that team that has the first victory, or maybe that YCTG, what's less likely, but is possible, that they just turned up the heat, they got the pick they needed, they now have the matchups they want. There's a time bomb. Again, looking to zone out, finds a value, hits Nox Mave, but fall-off damage means it's not going to kill him.
I will say, from Cyclone, it's been relatively quiet right here. This matchup, Androxus has not been, I want to say, as stellar as what we saw out of Tito last game. And that honestly will make or break. I mean, that is one of their best players. He's one of the few rookies in the league right now, and he has looked phenomenal all split. That double kill, maybe even going for more as he's getting aggressive right now, is exactly what you need from him.
And I mean, operating this Androxus is not the easiest guaranteed types of things here on console, but when you can do it, it's super effective. Headshots as well from range. Running the Nightbane with the Rect. This is exactly what I was running last night. So I'm already feeling connected.
Halloween.
It is. There's a little bit more of a Halloween. There's actually a Halloween mask that Androxus has. The only problem is you have to just wear the mask. You can only do mask and then weapon customization. It's his normal coat. So I think a lot of people opt for the full body outfits at this point. But you know, I'm not here to judge your Skinergy, okay? That's Nick's job.
He'll give you the Skinergy.
He'll rate you.
The only thing I'm going to judge you on is, and this is something that honestly PC players don't even do properly all the time, but pacing your shots on Androxus is probably one of the most important things. Finding out the best way to fire that revolver is one of the most difficult things to do in the game.
Definitely.
When things line up, you get a double kill. When they don't, you're missing shots left and right. And so I feel like Tito's riding that fine line of sometimes firing a little bit too quick, not getting the reset so he doesn't get the accuracy exactly where he wants.
Absolutely true. And it is 1-1, owned by Atomics. Doing a good job. YCTG, I think, getting pressured out really by the dual flank of Sky and Talus. Luminary is a problem. We've seen it be very effective here. Don Canolo, though, has really been the light in the dark as well. It's Tito on the objective. Not too relevant, but on the push, or the defense, rather, very relevant.
That's big. I mean, Cyclone, that point where they were right outside of YCTG's base, that was a defense. Doesn't happen too often. YCTG, though, looking pretty all right. I feel like there's been moments that have been really good and moments that have been left wanting more. Right here, this flank, this is going to take up a lot of whether or not they can, in fact, come through and find success.
Oh, by
I
Thomas.
almost thought he jumped in the
well.
well.
It looked like he might have there. Inner strength helping him to stay alive and maybe just find his right parking spot there as Talus tries to figure out where he left it in the parking garage. 54% counting here, CycloneGG. Definitely the ones who are in control now. YCTG haven't been able to make the Sky work as much, and Well, they don't have anything on the objective, do they?
Nada. Zilch.
Zip.
Nothing.
And now they really have nothing.
No teammates, no percentage, maybe a little bit of stake in being able to stand on it. They're ticking up their objective time, but
I like this.
doesn't get you a lot.
I like this, man. Tito makes a great play there because, you know, there's a part of you that when you start punching and you know that you basically won the team fight, you just want to punch the Inara to death. He punches her and then dashes away, gets to a safe mid-range. And that's just because he doesn't want to get blindsided. He wants to face the right direction. He wants to not be frontlining for his team when he could get sniped and continue this push and do things like that. That, to me, for a guy that's not qualifying, that's obviously got nothing to play for right now except just pride and for his own name, is something that makes me recognize that this guy's taking it seriously, that he wants to be here, that he deserves a shot on teams that are looking for good players. And if, you know, it's CycloneGG and they're looking to continue being a force to be reckoned with, says deserves a shot to stay in the lineup and to keep on going. I like that stuff.
As of right now, Cyclone and the rest of the team looking really good. Tito finding another double kill and being able to shut down what is YCTG's top damage, although right now Sky is still one of the bigger threats and definitely difficult to trace down. And that tends to be where we see how high a priority is she. Do you need to go into sight, beyond sight, get yourself some more stealth vision? Or do you just let her do what she does?
I think that the real issue with the Sky is it's more forced here than it is on Jaguar Falls. Because when you get out of Jaguar Falls, that map just allows you to be a little trickier. You know, Ascension Peak, a lot more corridors, a lot more open space. When you're caught out, there's nowhere to run. Those line of sight breaks don't exist as much. And I think that's what's hurting YCTG. They're just losing on the Sky now, and not what was happening in the beginning.
How many people in the console league do you think have ever seen Thundercats?
5, 4.
Thundercats? I don't understand the question.
What?
Is that a movie?
Old cartoon?
Well, if I haven't seen it, Gore, and I'm older than you, I don't. It's probably.
I've gone too deep down the well.
There's probably more of a chance for younger people then, because it probably was just not a cartoon.
It would have been remade.
Oh no, the roofing a little slick. They told her to stay off that till Wednesday, and she jumps up on Monday, realizes that she loses her footing, and now can't land. Assert dominance does not come through. And Tito now getting collapsed on. This is a rough one, though. He's got the reversal. He's got the punch. Oh, my God. He's going to turn this around. Are you? Oh, wow. He does. He finds the kill. But with comeback mechanic, you would assume that this zone is good enough. But is it? Centurio trying to jump back onto the objective. He's going to get there 97%, and it's not over yet. YCTG now fighting, owned by Atomics. Getting owned by Noxmave. The last shot does it. And here's the fireball as well. He's looking to clean it up. The Vivian, the last lady, standing a time bomb. But this bomb is not in time. Ernest again finding himself in stealth, but he is revealed because there's only one place to be. It's on the objective, and that looks like it could be VClax falling, and YCTG are crumbling like a cookie here under the pressure from Cyclone.
97 now to 54 and rising as Cyclone retake it beautifully, and they're still making a good zone, although you can notice no one getting too aggressive. They're making sure they don't give up too much, owned by Atomics on the side. Sky going to be coming around as well, so you have to be careful if you're a frontline, but health bars are all in favor of Cyclone.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing. I love the way they're approaching this fight on the side of YCTG, but they already lose Ernest Degen. I think this is a double kill for Tito. He's been my star of the show here on Ascension Peak. Triple kill, quadra kill, looking to maybe make it happen. Oh boy, welcome to the PCL, big guy. Console, looking hot today.
So there's been a debate going on, and this has been in the console scene. And it was Tidu, who we just saw have a phenomenal 2 games, versus Atomic AMK. Both of them rookies. Oh, who's going to be like rookie of the split, right? That performance, hands down, gives it over to you. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that he has been performing pretty much all split for Cyclone, and that was fantastic.
Great stuff there. The only thing I'm going to get slightly upset about is that you can't call him Tito and then call him Tidu. Now you're making me look bad.
Tito.
What is it? It's
both.
spelled Tidu. I'm thinking you got insider knowledge and call him Tito.
Tito's easier to say.
You can't make now we got to look at the play-by-play. Now that could be totally irrelevant. He's like, man, it sounds good, but my name is actually pronounced T2. Listen, also, you want to have a hot highlight reel? make sure that it's easy to pronounce your name. It's very clear. Or reach out to us and say, hey, man, just for reference. Blue's pretty good at that, letting people know, but he can't get everybody here, especially if you're a rookie. Always good to know. Europe PS4 goes the way we would have expected. 2-0s all day. And now, although that was fun, it's time to get into some serious business. Onslaught playing next. The LAN contenders, who have been representatives of this region forever in North America, could be going home.
Well, I'll say, looking at the schedule, 2-0s all on the left side. Onslaught was on the left, Cryptic was on the right. That is already a bad omen. So your play is going to have to offset that and hope for the best.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens. I'm actually going to be off on that set. Watch Nick and Gormizer take you through that one. We're going to head down to North America now. Xbox and PS4 coming at you soon, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for some great games.